Oh shit! What's up, y'all? Driver Oz here. Just riding up the highway, doing my damn thing. Man, what the hell is going on? Look, I'm gonna get into this. I have a '05 Chevy Trailblazer, okay? Had it for 3 years. I put 2 transmissions in it. So since I've had it, it's had 3 different transmissions in it, okay? I bought it, it needed a transmission. I bought another transmission from somebody. Had to pull the transmission out of their car, sitting out in the mud and shit out their house. Brought it to my house. Pulled mine out, put that one in. Ran it for a year and a half probably. And the transmission went out again. So I bought another Trailblazer. Pulled the transmission out of it. So I got it for $500. It wasn't quite bad. Pulled the transmission out of it. Pulled my transmission again. Put that one in. Okay? I posted on Facebook one day about changing a tranny. It got flagged and taken down. They wouldn't even let me put it up. And they gave me the one more warning or my account was going to be suspended. I've never been kicked off Facebook for saying tranny. I was talking about changing a freaking transmission, man. I don't understand, you know, my generation, I'm from Generation X, okay? I was born in 1975. My generation stood up in the late 80s, early 90s against censorship in music. You know, people trying to tell you what you could say in music and pretty much everywhere else. And now that this younger generation and these millennials they're soft as hell. I mean, what is going on? Why all the I mean, really, why are they trying to censor everything? Why are these social media platforms trying to censor everything? Didn't we already win this battle back in the 90s? Late 80s, early 90s? Didn't we win this? With 2 Live Crew? Who else? NWA? I rock that shit. I still rock that shit. But, you know, man, I mean, it makes no sense. Our First Amendment right is freedom of speech. Okay? These folks that run these social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, I guess Instagram, I don't know, I'm on Instagram. I've only posted 1 video on there or something. I never get on there because I don't understand the concept of it quite yet because I haven't dabbled on it into it. But anyway, these people that run all these social media platforms are leftist liberals, I guess, and they're trying to censor everything. Well, what don't make any sense though? It's a public forum, so what you say on there should be respectable. You know, should be respected for what it is. They're going to come at you with fact checkers and all this. I say my opinion. I say what I believe. You know, and talking about changing a tranny in a Trailblazer is what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That makes no sense. But it's like, man, these people are so woke. They're woke now. What are they doing though, besides complaining about what everybody else is doing? What are they doing with themselves? You know, you have all this time to stand out here and protest and all this bunch of crap. How do you survive? Somebody's paying you to protest? I'd say probably. A lot of these protesters are probably getting paid. They're on somebody's payroll. They have to be. So there's no way they're surviving, you know, other than the extra $600 that these people on unemployment were getting. Man, it's like, I didn't agree with that. Some folks that I know of that were getting unemployment, that $600 didn't even equal, you know, what they were making on top of their unemployment. It didn't equal what they were making already. But, you know, that's people with good jobs. And on the other side of that, now these liberals are complaining again about raising liberal wage. Yeah, minimum wage. Okay, look, here's where I'm at with minimum wage. When I started working, minimum wage was, I think, $3.70, $3.75 an hour, okay? I washed dishes in a dirty ass kitchen for 10 to 12 hours a day, you know, almost every day. They called me in on my days off to come to work for $3.75 an hour. And that was a startup job. You know, I was 15, 16 years old. Okay, that was a minimum wage job. As time went on, and I continued to work since I was 15, by the way. And I continued to work at different places. I worked at several restaurants. I worked at Earl Shops. There's not even, Earl Shops doesn't even exist anymore, but I worked at Earl Shops. They did the $99 paint job. You know, I worked there. I worked at, I did parking lot work, blacktop sealing and laying blacktop and pouring concrete, painting stripes on roads and parking lots and things like that. I've done that for, get this, $5 cash an hour. $5 an hour I did that. And I was raising kids on $5 an hour. You know, I would work all week and make $200 for a week's worth of work. You know, imagine that, millennials. I don't know, a lot of you don't even work. You just complain and shit, but some of you do work, some of you have work ethic. You know, I haven't totally gave up on the younger generation, because I know folks that made the sacrifice and bit the bullet, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, they're not complaining about what everybody else has and is doing. But I did that. Okay? Minimum wage is a startup job wage, you know. Restaurants, these fast food restaurants and all that, these folks don't need to be paid $15 an hour. You know, I mean, I've made $15 an hour. I couldn't pay all my bills for $15 an hour. I quit a job driving a big truck cross country and went to a job making $15.85 an hour, and I stuck with it and did that job for 3 years, but I went broke. So $15 an hour is still not going to help. You know, you have to go get some training, build yourself up, build up your experience, build up your resume and your skill set, and keep moving up. You know, you think that being a cashier or making fries at McDonald's, that you're going to move up. Okay, I don't know what the managers make there. I'm going to say probably $30,000 a year. That's not That's not good enough. I could pay my bills on that much money, but that's not good enough. You know, so that's a startup job. Keep moving ahead, finding the bigger, better deal. You can't stay at the same place doing the same thing and expect different results. Well, what is that? That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. No doubt. But I've got into it with these folks and they're like, no, they need to raise the minimum wage. That's not going to help. I'm going to tell you why it's not going to help. You raise the minimum wage, okay, then all of a sudden these companies, that affects their bottom line. It doesn't matter if it's a small business or a humongous, operation. It affects their bottom line. You got her there, dumb bugger. Did you want it? But it affects their damn bottom line. And you know what's going to happen with that? They're going to raise prices on the consumer because they're going to have to pay more taxes because they're paying people more money. And guess what? It's going to be right back in the same damn boat. $15 an hour is going to turn into the same thing as, you're going to have the same amount of money as you do now with, I don't even know what the minimum wage is. I thought it was like $9 an hour or something now. Something similar to that. I could be wrong. It might be $7.50 or something. I'm not sure. Because I haven't worked for minimum wage since the 90s. But anyway, that's what's going to happen. It's a circle. They still got to make their bottom line and stay where they're at. So, yeah, we raised the minimum wage. You can raise it to $50 an hour. You know what? You're going to go to McDonald's and you're going to give $25 for a damn order of fries. That's going to kill the U.S. dollar. It's probably being killed now because of all this free money that's being handed out through unemployment and all this because of the business shutdown and the social distancing and all this crap. Our dollar's probably shit now. It's probably not worth, what it was 6 months ago because of all this free money the government keeps handing out. Which I got no problem with some of that, people that work for a living. And then now because of the COVID, everybody's going to be shut down, or not everybody, but the non-essentials are shut down. And they open back up, and now it looks like they're on the verge of shutting down again. And it's crazy, man. It's killing small businesses. Because, we were talking about the minimum wage. You raise that minimum wage, these small businesses have to raise their prices. Everybody has to raise their prices to get back to where they're making money. You can't run a business and you're in the damn negative every month. I tried it. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But that's my take on this stuff. And they're like, oh, well, you just don't know. You're with your privilege. And I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of a racist comment if you're going to say I have white privilege. You know what? My privilege is going to work every day. My privilege was riding with my mom and my brother, trying to go to a public pool. Well, my two brothers. And we got actual food stamps, okay, when I was a kid. Don't know if a lot of you folks even know what a food stamp looks like. It looked like checkbooks. And there was food stamps in it. There was, I think, 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s, I think. I don't think there was anything bigger than a 20. I can't remember. But we would stop at 2 or 3 different gas stations and go in, me and my brother, and buy a 3-cent piece of bubble gum with a food stamp to get the change, 97 cents, and come back out and give that change to my mom. We do that at 3 or 4 different little gas stations, and that way she had enough to put a couple dollars in gas and pay our admission to the public pool. Okay? Does that sound like a white privilege? Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. You know? There's no such thing as a white privilege. We're in America. That shit went by the wayside in the 60s when the civil rights movement came out. The white privilege was gone with civil rights. And these people protested and marching and all this bullshit. You know what? You guys relate on that. It's already been done. There's no systemic racism. That's a liberal media term that they're trying to use for election year. You know, amazing how we never heard anything about that in 2019. We never saw all these Black Lives Matter movements in 2019. We never saw all that, did we? We didn't hear much about police killing people in 2019, right? All of a sudden it's election year. Now the left is pushing all this stuff forward, up to the front burner. Look what these white people are doing to you. Look at what they're doing to you. You know, but Joe Biden can get up here and say, if you vote for Donald Trump, you're not black. Is that not a racist comment? And he says, poor kids should have the same opportunities as white kids. That's not a racist comment? No. The liberal media won't say anything about that. They'll just they're like, oh, he didn't say that. We'll just skip on by that part. They don't want you to hear that. But he really did say that. He said a lot of racist things. But to hell with Joe Biden. He probably don't even remember what he had for breakfast, and he probably ate breakfast 43 minutes ago. But anyway, that's what I have for this video. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's going to be Trump 2020 this year. November 4th, we're going to hear all these liberals crying at the sky again, man. It's going to be awesome. Maybe then they'll get over it. Maybe then, after that, we need to win Congress back too. The House. After that, maybe we can get past this stupid stuff that you know we've already been through in the 60s before I was born, and we can get back to being Americans and setting goals and accomplishing goals and moving ahead. And the American dream, man. To hell with this communism, these social media platforms trying to tell you what you can and can't say. You know, that's our rights. We can say whatever we want to say. That's our rights, man. It's written right there in black and white. That is our rights. We have amendments. We have the Constitution. And they can't take it away. They can't bend it to fit their narrative. It's still the same thing. It's been there for 200 years. They can't. Man. They can't change it. If we let them change it, we're idiots. We're in the silent majority. I'm going to tell you right now. Republicans are the silent majority. We're letting all these folks act stupid, make all these crazy accusations about how racism is running wild and all this. There are racist people in our country. I have no doubt, but not like what they say. You know, everybody that disagrees with a liberal, if you're a white male, you're a racist if you disagree with liberals. That's their go-to. You know, there's something I figured out a long time ago. Folks that call other folks racist are usually racists themselves. That's what I've learned. It seems like that anyway.
Oh, you're white. You have no reason to be commenting on something like that, on racism. You have no reason to be saying anything about Black Lives Matter because you're white. No one's ever judged you by your skin color. Ding, 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 ding. You just did it. You said because I'm this color, I have no business talking about this subject. That's judging me by my skin color, by my tone, by a pigment. I didn't say that to you. You know, folks don't think about stuff like that, you know. It's crazy. But anyway, it's Friday, and it's pouring the rain, and I'm riding to Pittsburgh. And that's what's up, y'all. I hope it don't rain all weekend. Hope I can do some stuff. But that's all I got now. Drive our eyes. Later. Pina coladas, y'all.